So, I hope that yesterday's lesson was pretty easy. Today should be as easy as yesterday's. What is happening? Oh, the tragedy. Alright, that one's good. Okay, we're good? Everyone's good? Alright. 11, 28, 23. Solving one step inequalities, level 2. Level 2, super easy. Oh, the children. All right. What if the problem I give you looks like this? (2x) is greater than or equal to 34. How do I get x by itself? The goal is to get x by itself. But right now I have a 2x. And it's in the way. The 2 is in the way. So how do I break it up? What do I have to do? Yes? Division? Yeah. So right now, what does 2x mean? What math means 2x? It means multiplication, right? It means 2 times x. But we don't say times x. We just say 2x. But it means to multiply. But like Amelie said, we have to do the opposite. It is to divide. How do I show division in 7th grade? We use the fraction bar. This means division. And this is what you're going to be using in 7th grade, in 8th grade, and in high school. So this means division. No, we don't want to see this, okay? That's like elementary. We don't do that anymore. We do this. So what number am I going to divide by? 2, because that's the number next to the x, and that's the one we want to make disappear. So you divide by 2 on both sides, divide by 2 on both sides, and what is x equal to? X is greater than or equal to? 17. Easy enough?
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's make it harder. 7x is less than negative 35. So how do I break it up? How do I get x all by itself? I have to break this up. This means multiplication. So I have to do the opposite, and the opposite is to divide. What number do I divide by? I divide by the number next to the variable. So I divide by 7. Because your goal is to get x by itself. X all by itself. So what's negative 35 divided by 7? What is it? Negative 5. Good. Let's graph this one. We didn't graph the first one. Or if you did, good job. So, can you guys remember the numbers before and the numbers after? The numbers before and the numbers after. All right. What are the numbers before? And negative 7. Good. And then the numbers before is negative 4, negative 3. Open or close circle? Open, and then shade to the left. Good. All right. Is that okay? So if it's multiplication, you're going to divide. Now, what's the last one I got to teach you? If it looks x over 5 is greater than 3. X over 5 is greater than 3. So what does it mean when it looks like a fraction? It means division, right? So this now looks like division, because this is division. So what's the opposite of dividing? Multiplication. So you're going to, and this is how we show it, you're going to multiply by 5, you're going to multiply by 5. We're going to multiply by 5 on both sides. So we're going to multiply by 5 here, we're going to multiply by 5 here. Whatever you do one side, you do the other side by multiplication, which means parentheses, parentheses. All right, x is greater than what? 15. We're okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So sometimes, okay, if it's the way I write them, they're always going to be written like this, right? It's always going to be written looking like a fraction, right? So very simple. It looks like a fraction, means division. So you're going to multiply, right? That's very basic. X is less than or equal to what in this problem? What is it? Negative 30. Very good. Negative 30. Now, the way they make it harder is they do this. So, they'll do 1/2 x greater than, let's say, 10. So they'll write it like this. 1/2 x is greater than 10. And then all of a sudden, all these kids are like, I don't know what to do. It's a fraction. Oh, insanity. But in reality, this is how they make it look harder. But in reality, this is also that. Okay? So when you see it this way, it's just this. It really just is that. And then all you have to do is times 2 times 2, x is greater than 20, right? But the way they make it look like this, it throws kids off. It makes them feel like they can't do it. But in reality, this just turns into this, which you just said it was pretty easy. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, like, if it's written as 1/5 x, how do I rewrite 1/5 x? X divided by 5, right? If it's 1/10 x, how do I rewrite 1/10 x? X divided by 10. Now this only works if the top number is a 1. If the top number is not a 1, let's see if you guys can figure it out. You won't see this until maybe 8th grade. How would you rewrite that?
X10.
Mm-mm. How do we rewrite that? Knowing this, how do I rewrite this? Well, where does the 5 go?
Stays there.
Stays there at the bottom. What would I do with the 2? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what would I write down? What goes? Uh-huh. Over 5. Are they meant to trick you? Are they meant to, like, scare you if you see this problem? Yeah, they are. But in reality, it's just like, oh, all you do is you move the x to the top. Why? Because mathematically, here I go. I'm going to lose a lot of you. It's 2/5 times x, right? How do I write x as a fraction? What's my denominator if it's just x? If I have the number 10 and I want to write it as a fraction, how do I write the number 10 as a fraction? 10 over 1. So if I have an x, how would I write that as a fraction? Yeah, x over 1, right? And then how do I multiply fractions? Straight across. So what's 2 times x? 2x. What's 5 times 1? 5. And technically this is what we did on all of these. I just put them over 1 over 1. You'll do this in 8th grade. Yeah. So what if I give you 3 over 7x. What would that be? 3x over? Yeah. Ah! 3x over 7. Hey, you just got a taste of a true honors class right here. Alright, let's go back to regularly scheduled program. Make them easier for you, and I rewrote number 2 and number 5. So nice. All right. So reminder, when they're together, they're squished together. It means multiplication. So what are you gonna do? Divide. All right. So this means multiplication. So you are going to divide. So I'm going to divide by 4. I'm going to divide by 4. So we have D is greater than or equal to? Oh, thanks. Wow. Scared me for a second. -4. All right, number 2, I rewrote it to make it easier because it used to say 1/2 C, but I'm like, oh my gosh, how many kids are going to freak out? So this line means division. So what is the opposite of dividing by 2? Multiplying by 2. So C is greater than or equal to, what's -7 times 2? -14. You're going to be using the Dorito man, if needed. We okay? Okay. Can you graph only? I'm going to be so nice to you. Gosh, I'm so nice to these students. I want you to graph just this. Just these. But if you complain, we'll do all of them. Take it or leave it, Adrian. Oh, good. So you're going to graph 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 of them. Whoa. Yesterday you graphed 12. God, I'm so generous. So nice. I must have woken up on the right side of the bed today. Well, it's always the right side because I sleep on the right side. So it's always the right side. Unless my back is out, and then it's the left side. Let's not go there. All right. Deal? Yes, Miss Emily. You're so nice. I know. You should stop. Divide by 4, divide by 4. I is less than 2. So I'm going to graph 2, 3, 4, 1, 0. Open circle this way. I did not grade your work from yesterday.